Hello, Gaming Palooza fans, and welcome to Memory Lane. And here we have the Atari 2600 controller, and that could only mean one thing. Well, this time around, we're not playing the Atari 2600. We're unboxing a few games here. We actually already unboxed them. So they came in several different packages. We got a complete set of Konami games for the Atari 2600. And as you can see right here, we have Marine Wars, Puyan, and Strategy X for the Atari 2600, and I believe that the rarity is sorta kinda rare. Now let's check out the quality on the labels here. You have Marine Wars right there, and you have the nice little collage right there in the center. You have the raster Marine Wars logo right there on top. Very nice looking, check that out. And yeah, the game itself, I have never played this before, but you have a Konami Video Games cartridge right there on top with 011. Now that number kind of intrigues me because there's only 3 games that came out that were officially Konami cartridges on the Atari. So I'm wondering why it says 011. That's kind of interesting. And the top portion of the label is in fairly good shape. It does have like a little bit of a peel right there on the bottom, but that could be fixed. And a very nice collage right there in the center of the label with the helmet. You have a little bit of a war going on in the background, and yeah, check that out. It looks actually quite nice. And upon testing the cartridge out right here, it turns out that the cartridge works perfectly fine right there on the first try. I definitely looked at the contacts. It does look quite clean, so I believe whoever owned it before cleaned the game out quite well. This will be featured on Memory Lane eventually in the future. It's very, very happy to know that it works perfectly fine. And the next Konami game that we acquired was Strategy X. You can see right here, Strategy X has a tank right there in the center of the label. It has a nice little illustration of a tank with an X right there in the center of the tank. And the Strategy X logo is completely yellow. There's no raster graphics on it whatsoever. And at the top of the cartridge, you have Konami Video Game Cartridge, and that's 010. Now that's interesting because Marine Wars was 011, and this one's 010, so it's kind of like some binary code or something. It's kind of weird. Now the top portion of the label right here, I kind of did a little bit of a repair to it already because it was peeling off quite a bit. So I tried to glue it down the best I can to, make it stay there. And you can see it kind of looks a little rough, but yeah, it looks better than what it was before. So here we are testing out Strategy X in the actual Atari console itself, and much like the first game, Marine Wars, this game works perfectly fine. On the first try, it worked, no issues whatsoever. Very, very glad that we are having good luck here with these games. And this game will also be featured on a future episode of Memory Lane, so stay tuned for that in the future. And for the next game, we have Puyan for the Atari 2600. Another Konami game, and I believe this may be the first Konami game that released. You can see right there in the center, you have what looks like a pig and a wolf. And it looks quite Japanesey looking, as you can see there. It's Konami. You have a Puyan logo, and it looks like a bunch of balloons put together. You have the little Konami copyright right there on the top, right of the portion of the Puyan logo. And at the bottom of the cartridge, there is no Konami logo on this one, which is quite interesting. And at the top of the cartridge, you can barely read it, but it does say Konami Video Game Cartridge. They kind of hit it a little bit, and it does say 001, so I'm assuming that this is the first ever official Konami game that released on the 2600. And the top portion of the label does appear to be a little bit worn out. Yeah, let's try the game out, pop it in, and we'll see if it works. And on the first try, this game does work with no problem. I will probably still give it a bit of a cleaning once, we're done playing it here. Puyan happens to be, I guess, the more rare game out of all 3 of them. It regularly goes for around $50 to $60, if not more. I think I got it for $10. I got a pretty good bargain getting this game. The game is, I guess, a little bit scarce. It's not easy to find this game for a good price. So yeah, stay tuned for future episodes of Memory Lane as we play all 3 of these Konami games in individual episodes. Strategy X, Marine Wars, and Puyang. 3 great Konami games. We'll try them out in the future episodes of Memory Lane. If you enjoy seeing these obscure rarities on the Atari 2600, go ahead and write down below on what you think we should try to acquire next. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episodes of Memory Lane every Friday.
Friday.